Good morning everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setup for today. So we ended up pretty much flat, bit of a range day, and I'm not sure why my DAX candle's moving, but we'll have a look at that now. It seems like I have some live pricing coming through all of a sudden. Anyway, so we tested, we're still hovering around this area, but these tails are still indicating that we are selling, we're sort of selling off in this area. This is nothing that we need to be paying attention to at the moment. Still a bit of a triangle forming, nothing really that we can write home about right now. And you can see a nice big gap up, then it's big up, big down, big up, big down. So we're ranging. Look at this divergence high. There's a high. Prices are higher, and you can see the diversions there on the oscillators. So we are stuck in between the moving averages. Does look a nice juicy inverse head and shoulders, or even a smaller cup and handle here, but ultimately by the looks of things we need to get through probably 14,100, 14,097 is what we need to get through in order for us to be even considering a move back to the upside. Bigger trend line has broken and retested, but I suspect we're waiting for the Feds. We know that, and we probably also, there's probably something else brewing in the Russian conflict as well. So if we drill down to the hour, and lo and behold, we do have extra data. So it looks like my broker has started extended trading hours on the DAX. Anyway, that's good to know. So we do have that weekly gap below us, and those weekly gaps are always a problem because they typically get closed more often than not. So I'd be very cautious of trying to jump in long here. I would expect some kind of a pullback, and there is a bit of a trend line here. Just take that there. So there is that trend line, and if you look at it, it is looking like a flat top triangle as well. So I would expect us to, more than likely, if we do break below this 13,800 area, then expect that gap to close, probably find some support down here. Now on the Dow, we are above and below the moving averages on the hour, so I'm surprised that the DAX is not following suit at the moment. And then there is another trend line here as well, which is kind of where we are at the moment. So and if I draw a trend line here, you're going to get your flat bottom triangle. So let's just get rid of this one. If we break below the current low of today that we can see, we are looking to close a gap. If we sort of break above the high of yesterday, let's forget about the rest, but if you break above the high of yesterday, and you look how important that is, then you are looking at a bigger move, pretty much I would assume, to close that gap up there. So that's the scenario. We need to wait for the range break before we start looking for anything, as far as I'm concerned. Pointless trying to trade this. You can see on the 15-minute, solid move up, bounce off nothing, rejection off nothing, and then eventually a bounce off structure, and then we sort of just hovering around. So yeah, be careful. If we do drop below at 13,800, expect that gap to close, and then vice versa. I think just adjust this to the high of yesterday. So that is 14,081. So obviously this 1400 area is giving traders a lot of thought. So whether it is thought of going long or thought of going short is basically unknown at the moment, but that is the area that most of the traders are fiddling around with, at this 1400 area. So yeah, that's kind of me. It's sit on hands. You've got the Feds tomorrow, so I suspect this is going to continue. Looking more than likely a move down rather than a move up. So this gap is, I think, what the short-term scalp is going to be. And if you just look at what your risk to reward on this is, on a decent break and retest of this area, that's 165 points for 220 points. A little bit better than a one-to-one trade. But yeah, so you'll probably see move down, bounce off the 155 here on the 15-minute, back up, come and test one of these tails, and also the other moving averages, that would be the signal, because then you've got a nice tight stop. If that happens, you've got a stop which is just under 100 points, and then you're getting a nice 2-to-1 trade, or almost 3-to-1 trade. Okay, anyway, that's kind of me for today. I hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Cheers for now.